Okay, this is my next monthly update video. So, sorry if you hear noises in the background. Not able to edit that out currently, so yeah. If it happens, it happens, but okay. There's a few things that has happened this last month regarding my transition. Yes, I'm still having physical changes. The most I'm noticing still is breast growth. What little is happening, from what my doctor said, it can take up to 6 to 8 years for a breast to fully grow and develop. Being consistent on the HRT, so going by that, I have at least a year from when I got back on the hormones consistently. Yeah. So at least one more year before, well, give or take, because what genetics and whatnot can happen, weight gain, weight loss. So yeah. And it's mostly the left side that's been hurting a lot, which is they've been mostly filling in instead of going up an actual cup size. It's mostly just that filling in of all the spots where I was underdeveloped and not filled in. So that's good. As long as I don't become a cup size bigger, I'll be really happy. What I'm really wanting is right here to fill in, to be even with this side, plus all up here to fill in, to get that fullness up here, because that's where I'm having the issue, is up here not being fully filled in. So a lot of bras don't fit me correctly because of that. I'd mostly have to wear balconette style bras, or ones that are less coverage on top, so it doesn't sit there and gap on top, or like bandeau styles and things like that. Some t-shirts do fit, but it's mostly like full coverage is what's not, if it's like more full coverage up top here, it's what doesn't fit me. So I'm hoping I stay the same cup size, but up here fills in. Even if right here doesn't fill in, I'm wanting up here more. So yeah. So the right side ended up being the bigger side. So yeah. I've noticed my leg hair is still decreasing. It seems like I have, looking at it now, because I haven't shaved it in a few days, so I have less leg hair. So that's a thing. The other thing is electrolysis on this area. It's working really well. The machine she was using before wasn't working. So like 3 months ago, she had to start using a new machine while the other one's in the shop getting repaired. So the new machine seems like it's working a lot better. It's like most of the issue she's been finding is along the line right here of the lip. Those are the only like pigmented ones on the upper lip, and just a few hairs here and there. And it's mostly the long, coarse hairs that she's trying to get rid of. And the last I checked this morning, right here, you can't really see it on the camera, but right here, the hair is pigmented. Everything else, there's like no pigment in it. It's just hairs through here and a little bit through here and down here are just a little bit longer, and it's pretty much the long hairs. Everything that's not peach fuzz is what's being worked on now, and whatever little bit of coarse hairs are left. So she's hoping within like the next month or so it will be gone, because in the last few months since using the new machine, all that hair that I was having difficulties with is so much more better and more gone. So there's that. And the only other thing I can think of that's changed is my dilation schedule. Was at my fiance's appointment, and they were talking about how they changed everything on how they dilate and their schedule, because they were going by what other places were going by, but then they ended up changing it to a better method where when you first start dilating, it's twice a day for 30 minutes, 8 hours apart, roughly. Not 100% exactly 8 hours, but has to be at least 8 hours apart for 30 minutes, like in the morning and in the evening. Then it goes from that down to once a day. And when you go down to once a day, you start out doing one day you do twice a day, the next day you do once, and the next day you do twice, then once a day, until you're able to get down to once a day. And once you've gone long enough, once a day, as long as the vaginal canal is not tight and you're not losing depth, then after you're done once a day, because that's where I was at, then you go down to the final every other day dilating. So instead of dilating every day, it's every other day you dilate once, every other day. So that's an experience. I've noticed my vaginal canal is more sensitive. I haven't lost depth or circumference of my vaginal canal. It's just my whole vulva and vaginal canal, like everything is more sensitive. I've noticed dilating every other day, which I'm able to feel more. Not doing as much self-stimulation down there, like using the dilator or whatnot. It's mostly like I've been feeling it a lot more in the vaginal entrance area and the clitoris. My clitoris is more sensitive than what it was dilating every single day. And also depends on where my hormone cycle is at, affects it as well. So yeah, I still have that hair in there. It's not going away. So I guess I'm gonna have to live with it and tweeze it when it gets long enough, if I'm able to tweeze it, but it hasn't been bothering me. I don't feel it, and there's no other issues. So other than that, dilating every other day is a relief, because don't have to take up that 30 minutes of time dilating on the off days, and can use that time more productively in the mornings. Because when I got down to once a day, I started doing it in the morning, because it's so much easier for me to dilate in the morning than at night, because usually at night you're tired. Plus with my autism, depending on how late it is and what's going on, I just randomly fall asleep a lot easier, and I've always been that way. I would just like at night, just even though I've been like try to stay awake, either like watching something or trying to do something, end up just falling asleep easily. So the last times I did dilate at night was when I was doing like twice a day, and I just end up falling asleep dilating. a lot of the times at night. So I'm so glad I can just do once a day and every other day, because I don't end up falling asleep while dilating. So yeah, I can just do my normal routine. Then at night, just go to bed without having to worry about anything. And just continue doing my every other day with dilating. Just some days it's kind of frustrating when it ends up on certain days that I dilate, because it's not like the same exact days every week, because it's every other day. So the part that's frustrating or kind of annoying is the days I have to take my shot, like the estrogen injection. When I have to dilate on those days, just have to worry about time management. So yeah, just to make sure I get my morning routine done and keep on schedule, because my autism, if I don't keep a routine, sometimes it gets frustrating or overwhelming. So I'm glad that my routine is more like normal now with the dilating, where it's not so much having to do to keep the upkeep on that. So yeah, nothing else really is going on besides just trying to do what's necessary with things. Oh, and that sore I had down there has gotten better. Where it was really painful, and how I had to do the warm compresses and massaging it, starting out like mild, then go to aggressive massaging. That spot has gotten so much better. Just once in a while, I feel it's stinging, but not constant like it was. And a few things I've noticed. It felt like a few times, like 3 times, it felt like nerves reconnecting in certain spots, which was not a fun thing. It was like a milder version of the feeling, instead of like when you feel it really strongly, but it still is uncomfortable. And yesterday was one of the times it seems like I felt it, and it was not comfortable, especially because for some reason everything down there was swollen for like 3 or 4 hours before the swelling went down there. I'm not sure what caused that, but yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening. So with that nerve reconnection, it was not fun. And next month on the 13th will be 1 year since the revision, so you can have nerves reconnect up to a year from the surgery, of any surgeries. So hopefully by then there won't be any more nerve reconnections, which the more nerves reconnect, the better, because the more feeling, you don't have any issues with numbness and whatnot. So, and hopefully after that year mark, I won't have any more nerve reconnections. So until, because that's pretty much what's been going on. So until my next video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Until then, boop, boop.